This exhausting search for a flawless soulmate is actually the only way to find lasting romantic happiness. We're going to look at the ancestral views of love, the psychological traps we all fall into, and why this whole concept of compatibility might just be the absolute biggest modern myth out there. It's a myth sold to us by movies, novels, and dating apps, and it's literally setting us up for a lifetime of disappointment.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The myth of the soulmate. 2. Escaping the ex-illusion. 3. The importance of good sex. 4. Why we sabotage love. 5. Traits of ideal lovers. And 6. Committing to the wrong person.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the myth of the soulmate, the modern trap versus ancient wisdom.
So the whole foundation of our modern approach to romance is this really tightly held notion that the single most important ingredient in a relationship is innate congruence, this pre-existing sympathy of souls. We firmly believe compatibility has to be found organically out in the wild, and only then can we actually commit. But, our ancestors beg to differ. They believed that alignments were to be formed, not found. For them, commitment came first. You bound yourself to someone, and the compatibility was actually forged in the fires of building a life together over decades. They understood that sharing a life meant sharing burdens, raising a family, surviving. And that deep bond grew from that shared struggle, not from having the exact same taste in poetry before you even met.
I mean, just look at how agonizingly slow our modern process is. We date non-exclusively for 6 months, then we commit to seeing someone exclusively for a year and a half, move in to test the waters for 5 whole years, and then, eventually, maybe, we get engaged. Contrast this with classical Athens, where young couples might meet just 3 times before arrangements were completely settled, or the Inca Empire, where you might not even see your spouse until the wedding day. Now, obviously, we certainly aren't suggesting going back to arranged marriages or marrying a total stranger, but that stark contrast really highlights our modern paranoia. We are so terrified of making the wrong choice, so we just stretch the assessment period out endlessly.
Today, we've got this absurd idea that it takes exactly 180 breakfasts, 23 mini breaks, and endless assessments just to verify if we've correctly landed on a pre-existing soulmate. We want to meticulously judge their packing skills, their timekeeping, their interior design preferences, just to see if we share this fictitious twin ship of the soul. We act like we're hiring for a highly specialized corporate role rather than trying to find a companion. It's a completely paralyzing standard that leaves us constantly wondering if there's someone just 5% more compatible waiting one swipe away.
Moving on to Section 2, Escaping the Ex-Illusion, Shattering Delusional Nostalgia.
We all do this, right? We cry at movies, we listen to a sad song on a rainy afternoon, and we ruminate on these syrup-soaked memories of a cozy trip to Athens or a perfect weekend on the coast with an ex. We remember the way they laughed or how incredibly safe we felt in that one, highly curated, very specific moment. But let's do a pedantic, clear-eyed thought experiment right now. Imagine your ex is out in the hallway outside your door at this very second. Their train just arrived, their bags are packed, and you are moving in together tomorrow morning. What would it actually be like to have them back in your physical space 24/7? Here is the blunt, psychological reality. If they were actually standing right there, we would probably hate them within minutes. We'd instantly remember the time they wasted, the petty arguments, and the humiliations they meted out. Think of their constant complaining, their annoying compulsions, their total inability to compromise. They would literally be radioactive to our peace of mind. The truth is, we don't want the actual person back. We just want the hazy, beatific feeling we had before we knew them too fully. We are literally crying over someone we would ask to leave the house if they actually showed up with their suitcases. Okay, Section 3, the importance of good sex. Why high-mindedness fails. High-minded people have been kind of perturbed by sex since